Hello and welcome to Giants Stadium. Around 20 of the 2019 NEAFL Premiership season. A sparkling winter's day in Sydney's West and a terrific matchup on paper for you today. It is the ladder-leading Brisbane Lions, well clear on top of the ladder and a force to be reckoned with in season 2019, taking on the Giants NEAFL outfit. Currently in fifth, currently in sixth rather, they can go up to fourth with a win. Certainly been a season of promise. Plenty of young stars in their ranks. My name's Will Davies. I'm joined by Chris Corby for this NEAFL live stream with our broadcast partners, Bar TV. Chris, welcome to you. What are you expecting from today? Give us a little bit of a setup ahead of the bounce.
Good morning, everyone. So, perfect day, as you mentioned, here for footy in Western Sydney. Giants won the toss and will kick to the right of screen.
All right, here we go. Archie Smith and Kieran Briggs doing battle in the ruck. Nick Shipley over the footy, takes it pretty solidly, half dispossessed. A chain of hand passes for the Giants, and from centre half back, the pressure's been good from the Lions early. Callum Brown involved, and now out towards our broadcast side. Heavy tackle coming from Josh Walker, and he's been penalised for it. It was on Jack Buckley, who is slow to get up. Already we can see the intent from the Lions, Chris.
Yeah, straight away, they're right into it, showing their intent. Bit physical there at the tackle, but looks like Buckley's okay there. He's going to continue on.
Category B rookie for Greater Western Sydney, Jack Buckley, 21 years of age. He goes short. A laser pass for Kane Flack. He goes back towards the safety of the defensive 50. The Giants now with Connor Iden short as well. Just taking their time, and understandably so, the Giants. 16 matches played in season 2019. 9 wins, 7 losses, and they're under the pump early. Not the greatest of kick. It's picked up, or wasn't picked up by Callum Brown, in fact, in the Lions inside forward 50. Creative stuff from Toby Wooler. But again, the Giants with numbers back. I think we'll see this a fair bit today, Chris. Yeah. Certainly getting them back.
Yeah, absolutely.
To the far side of Giants Stadium. The home side goes, and that is another early error from the Giants. They are feeling this pressure. And it'll be a free kick for the Lions. And this time they go short. The mark taken by Ryan Lester. Just outside forward 50. Sets it up towards the big presence of Connor Ballenden. The mark has been paid.
Oh, the Lions did really well there. They just trapped the Giants inside their defensive 50 and just kept pressuring and pressuring them. Repeat inside 50 entries there, and eventually finding a target. Bit of a tough shot here from the pocket.
He's an enormous young man, Connor Ballenden. And 2 minutes gone in the first term. Strokes it pretty well. Strokes it very well, in fact. Such is the Lions' season. Even the opening goal doesn't cause too much of a stir. Connor Ballenden with the first. The Lions, 1 straight 6. Giants yet to score.
Yeah, well, Brisbane have been very impressive this year. Currently holding a 4-win lead on top of the NEAFL ladder. You'll expect they'll be a very strong finals contender, challenging for a premiership. The Giants, on the other hand, very young today. They've got a lot of top-up players, but they're very strong as well in a finals position currently. Giants will be looking to win today to jump Aspley, who lost to Canberra yesterday. But Brisbane looking very good early. And 23 listed today, I'm told, as well, which is a very strong side. One rarely seen of that strength in the NEAFL competition. Yeah,
that's right. It's been a while since I've had the privilege and pleasure of leading a call of the NEAFL. And shades of the Giants in 2016 with their huge amount of listed players. And it's broken up now in defensive 50 by Brisbane Lions. Starcevic out. And well taken by the Giants. An early opportunity inside forward 50. Quick hand pass. And Harry Grant able to answer straight back for the Giants. A dream response from them.
Oh, brilliant. They just worked the numbers there. They got the overlap. Eric exiting defensive 50 just made them pay. That's the kind of play they need to do today if they're to bring down this really strong Brisbane Lions side. Just quick, fast movement and make them pay for their mistakes.
Harry Grant on the end of some good work and some wonderful pressure of their own from the Giants. So great signs from them as Brisbane ring the changes. Tom Cutler coming on and will line up on the wing, returning from a foot injury. The more talented players you'll see roll through the NEAFL. Eli Smith coming on as well. A jumping jack of a young talent. Dawson Simpson today for the Giants. So Mostly you'd imagine falls on Kieran Briggs' shoulders in the ruck. Archie Smith will battle on manfully, as he always does, in bright sunshine at Giants Stadium. Smith unopposed. Matheson charging through. Good pressure coming from Jackson Haitley, though. The Giants working hard and sending it towards forward 50. That's a strong tackle, and we'll have a ball up. And a couple of local umpires today as well, Chris.
Yeah, correct. So we've got a couple of local Sydney boys today. Number 2, Matt Bayesian is calling out there today, and number 18, Dean Garraway, both local Sydney products.
Oh, unable to affect the clearing kick for Giants, and pressure ensues. And we'll come back for another ball up. Almost 5 minutes played. It is 1 straight 6 apiece. Goals coming from Connor Ballenden and Harry Grant. Ballenden, a terrific shot from the right forward pocket. And Grant on the end of some really solid team play as Allison clears it out at defensive 50. Numbers with the Giants coming. Gets the hand pass away. Shipley, he'll be important. And now Iden. Every centimetre of 15 metres needed. And we're out with James Peatling. Good signs from him. Just loads up and sends it long towards the square. Smith looming, and so too Matt Eagles, who in that premiership win a few years ago was so good with his intercept marking by foot this time. Not the best result. It trickles out of play.
Yeah, great work there from Eagles to get the mark. Just sprayed the kick exiting 50, but worked out well for the Lions there, just trickling out of bounds.
It's an interesting story, Matt Eagles. Of course, we know he's been with the Lions a few years. Came to the club on the back of a reality TV talent search and made his debut last year. Superb, as mentioned, in that NEAFL premiership win a few years ago. And the Lions working the Giants around. Ballenden so strong. Eyes for the football. And it's an open forward 50. It doesn't matter at all. He's going to get a 50-metre penalty. Nicholas Murray penalised for encroaching on the mark. Ballenden, though, so cool, so calm for a young man. He's looking the goods already.
Oh, absolutely. Just there on the rebound too, Brisbane Lions, they'd sucked the ball up and they'd choked and released the play just there, and Lions are just a little bit nervous there, just wanting to stop that run and give away a 50-metre penalty there. And this should be a very easy set shot on goal for a man of his talents.
Yeah, much easier this one. I think it's a great point in terms of that pressure and panic from the Giants. Nicholas Murray maybe a little bit put off by falling and losing the contest, and Ballenden, 2 straight for him, and the Lions' only scorers so far. It's all they need. They're taking the 1-goal lead. It is 2 straight 12. The Lions leading the Giants 1 straight 6. 7 minutes played in the opening term. And the scoreboard shows the form of the season. But the Giants, I think they've been equal to it so far in the first 7 minutes. They've been keen to take the game on and looking pretty good. We saw heavy contact early with Jack Buckley being dumped into the turf. He's working with one of the trainers just off the interchange gates, trying to make sure he can come back out. But plenty of good signs from this young and talented list.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been able to match the pressure very early on. A couple of lapses have cost them goals here, but they've definitely shown the pressure early as Matthew Bayesian balls the ball up.
Smith and Briggs. Smith copying the contact. Briggs in the contest this time. They need more of that from him. Another great tackle from the Lions, and a free kick going their way. Is Eli Smith moving it quickly. Couple of options at right half forward and into forward 50, cutting them open. Reece Matheson getting free and taking a very comfortable chest mark out on the lead. So still out on this right forward pocket area that Ballenden struck from. And Matheson will be kicking into a slight breeze. Shouldn't be too much difficulty for him. The angle is sharper than 45 degrees. Plenty of experience from Reece Matheson. And it is 3 straight 18, the Lions, how quickly they can put a couple on. And it's a 2-goal margin.
I was textbook leading there for Matheson. The Lions were really set up going forward there and just perfectly let out. It was like watching a training drill there. And with a very easy mark in the pocket, almost uncontested.
I think you're spot on with that. It felt a little bit too easy, didn't it? They're well drilled. Back into the centre we go. Nick Robertson always loves the physical stuff. He'll be keen to get stuck in. And a change in the ruck for the Lions. Ballenden working through the middle. Archie Smith getting a rest. So Ballenden with 2 goals Yet to make his AFL debut, Connor Ballenden. Lions AFL side going extremely well, so he's just biding his time in the NEAFL, putting some big performances together. Hand pass outside from Ballenden, moving really well for a man of his size. Speaking of smooth movers, Cedric Cox on centre wing. Just in the shadows of the grandstand. Now just sets it up, players flying. I want able to take the mark, so it's off hands. Eli Smith involved again, put himself in a good position. Robertson with a high fend and just squares it into the attacking corridor. Again, the pressure. Giants' eyes lifting. Ballenden lifted his eyes, and Eli Smith a hand pass. So good, calm work from the Lions. Still inside forward 50. Smith, another possession. Outside forward 50. Taylor sets it up, and the Giants looking to break things up. The kick towards goal. It is goal number 4 for the Lions. They are getting a real head of steam here. 4 straight, no less, 24, leading the Giants 1 straight 6. Plenty of options inside forward 50 as well.
Oh, absolutely. That may have looked a little bit messy, but that was just pressure on the Giants there. There was a giant pressure cooker inside the 50. Giants just couldn't get it out, and it resulted in that goal just being dribbled through nicely. They're on fire here early. 4 goals in 10 minutes. The Giants are just slipping away a little bit, that intensity they showed really early on in this game. They'll need to pick that up again if they're to stop this Lions rampage.
Ryan Bastanak with the goal, getting his name on the score sheet. So 4 straight, 24 the Lions. The Giants 1 goal. The Lions goals coming just then from Bastanak, 2 from Connor Ballenden and Reece Matheson with a single goal. The Giants single score coming from Harry Grant as Robertson tracks it to the far side of the ground. Under some good pressure, and a hold is the call for the Lions, and they play on. Connor Iden stayed down after copying a shot. It's not Iden, in fact, it's Aiden Bonner as we move into the forward 50. And they cut the Giants apart again with that quick ball movement, very composed. And it's starting to get a little bit ugly for the Giants. The mark taken by Tom Cutler. Good to see Aiden Bonner back up after he copped a bit of an errant or stray arm or hand into the face. We're now with Tom Cutler. 45-degree angle away to the left. It's a good kick off the boot. That's lovely execution. Enjoyable to watch early, the Lions. It's been the story of season 2019. They lead the Giants by 4 goals. Not quite in the blink of an eye, but it's got a bit of that feel to it. 5 goals straight 30 to the Giants, 1 goal 6. And Harry Grant's single goal feels like a long time ago already.
Oh, it does. Cutler was very good there on the transition. Lions got the free kick and he just drifted forward uncontested. The Giants did well to get close to him in the end, but they just got beaten there on the rebound.
12 minutes gone. The Lions stringing them together. And the Giants with a bit of work to do. The Lions have smacked a few sides around in season 2019. The percentage they boast heading into today's penultimate round of the regular season, 239.1. So certainly having their way with a few sides as they are early against the Giants. But into forward 50, Ratton with the kick. Now Starcevic under pressure. Gets the hand pass away, and that's not a great kick, and it'll be broken up inside forward 50, and no better spot than the one Jack Buckley has taken the mark from.
Oh dear, that was a dangerous kick inside 50 there. Just put it right in the hot spot. The Brisbane player just slipped over and Buckley just comes through, uncontested grab. And that's the kind of play these Giants need to do if they turn this around, make Brisbane defenders pay for their mistakes. Send a couple of mistakes up forward down back for the Brisbane Lions. And hopefully the Giants are able to make them pay there.
Buckley got smashed early. He's right back out there in the thick of things yet again. A good kick from him too. Splits the middle of the goals, and the Giants with a much-needed response. It's their second. We get to see her behind as well. Just about perfect footy from both sides inside forward 50. The Giants 2 straight 12. The Lions 5 straight 30. 13 and a half gone. Chris, you've certainly seen plenty of NEAFL footy in season 2019. Both of these two sides featuring pretty prominently, just about finals bound. The Lions, definitely the Giants, trying to do so and consolidate that today. What have you made of the way the Giants have navigated season 2019?
The Giants have been fairly consistent throughout this season. Their top-up player numbers and listed players have varied slightly, but compared to the Lions, they've had a very strong side. Their senior AFL side have had very few injuries this year, which have fed this NEAFL form where they're able to play listed players, a high amount of them in the NEAFL. But GWS, various numbers throughout the season.
Robertson gets boot to ball. Effective enough when Archie Smith has skills such as that. Inside forward 50 again, the Lions go. Kane Flack with some good pace. The kick's not the best, and Briggs has work to do. Flack did well to follow it up, but again the Lions setting up nicely. Outside of defensive 50, Tommy Sheridan. That's a great tackle by Sheridan. Involved. The Lions just calming things down. Good presence of mind. Walker to Robertson. Now the outside of Giants Stadium. Bastanak strokes it. Good hand pass now with Cutler. He just dinks it over the top. It'll be a 3-on-2. Come the finish for the Giants, and they handle that well. Buntine, as experienced as any out here for the Giants, and Iden goes by foot to Jack Buckley, who's shown plenty in the opening 15 minutes of this round 20 NEAFL clash. Long looping ball. No mark able to be taken. Numbers from both sides, and good work from the Giants to clear it up. Eagles flies. An important hand to it. Does not to give away a free kick, and now numbers with the Lions. Eagles. Good change of direction. Walker. Outside for Keys. Makes a bit of a mess of it. So Giants with a chance. Smith with an important involvement. It's a great tackle from the Giants. Gives them an opportunity. Scooped out. And O'Halloran gets it outside. Or inside rather. And Bonner sets for home. It is the first blemish on the scoreboard from either side or behind. The Giants 1-1-7.
Giants just a bit against the play there. The Lions are just dominating so far across the ground, particularly in the midfield. But just Giants, they just missed out on a chance there. Just getting a goal against the run of play.
Lions, an error by foot here, so the pressure coming back on them from the Giants. Beautiful conditions for Australian rules football. Been like this for much of Sydney's winter. A long, high ball. Who wants it most? It falls to ground, and the Giants will get their second goal. Wonderful, wonderful work from Liam Delahunty, the Coolamon product. Able to stay down and read it off the pack, gathers the football, sends it through. The Giants with their third.
Yeah, just kind of fell on Delahunty's lap there. He was last man standing to an extent. Just beautiful snap on his right foot from the top of the goal square. Giants run against play. The Lions, the only blemish in their game so far for me has been their exit from 50. The defenders have been a little bit sloppy, haven't been hitting some targets. And the Giants have been able to make them pay a few times on the rebound, which is good. We're back on here again. Lions 5 goals, no behinds, 30 to GWS 3-1-19.
Yeah, those 2 goals very important, aren't they? Just for this young list as well, the Giants team to be able to look up at the scoreboard at their home ground, see them within reach. It was looking a bit rough early on. Briggs up against Archie Smith. Strong work from Smith in the ruck. A bouncing ball. Cox involved. Forces it to ground. Buckley met solidly again. It's going to be a sore boy at quarter time. Not to mention full time here. We've got plenty to go. Shouldn't worry him. Smith just about unopposed. Now Cutler throws it on the boot hurriedly. They were lining up the Giants. It's an important mark to come the finish because the Lions were queuing up Buckley. Superb start from him. Strokes it. Dangerous kick. 2 Lions waiting to pounce. Hand pass missed Robertson. It came from Thomas Berry. And this is good stuff from the Giants. Shipley involved and now Brown outside. Shipley gets it back from Matthew McGregory, one of the greatest hairstyles in Australian sport, I'm happy to say. Not just in the NEAFL competition. The Lions putting pressure back on the Giants. It falls to ground. Robertson in a bit of trouble. He tried to fend. Buckley involved yet again. Oh, they're holding their own here, the Giants. Brown Hurriedly onto the boot from the Irishman, a bouncing football. Lions, so putting themselves in a great spot. Setting up outside of attacking 50. Kieran Briggs, a really important mark. Well read.
Yeah, he's been really good so far, Briggs, as they exit 50.
The Giants, great run here. Comes from Tommy Sheridan, and a good kick too. It is an open forward 50, and they've got a man on the back outside of Eagles, and they go that way. Eagles, really important up against Liam Delahunty. Prevents him from having access to a possible second goal. And the Lions through Ben Keys. This is where the Giants need to be careful. They need to run hard and make sure they close the options down. And they've done it really well, the Giants, and forced the Lions back to this commentary side of the ground. Currently with Ryan Lester. Now with Corey Lyons and soon to be with the umpires. No, in fact, it'll be a free kick, Isaac, coming. So a few errors from the Lions. Certainly opening the door just a touch for the Giants here in the opening term. Milbassis sets it up. Mark unable to be taken from Zane Barzan. This is good from the Giants. They're getting goal side. A little bit of a run for them. The shot on goal. It is a superb finish. Ed Perryman with the fourth goal for the Giants. They are right in touch.
Oh, they are. They're just making them pay on these defensive errors, the Lions, when they're exiting 50. GWS, that was a great goal there from Perryman. Really good stuff watching here. You called Buckley's name, I noticed, a few times. Buckley, 4 disposals so far, which is not bad. He's getting a lot of attention, too, from the Lions.
And right in the thick of a lot of the contest as well. Even if he's not getting the possession, he's making sure he affects it.
Yeah, absolutely. He's looking good down back, too, because a few of his possessions there have been floating back, almost the extra man defence, getting an easy mark there, chopping off the Lions' attack. But the GWS has responded really well here. 4 goals, 1-25 to Brisbane Lions. 5 goals, no behinds, 30. We've got a game back on here.
Yeah, take that, Lions, the Giants say. Flag fancies, and justifiably so, but the Giants serving it up early. Good stuff. 21 minutes played in the opening term. Briggs and Smith, familiar battle. It'll fall for Lions. Outside to the run of Starcevic. Impressive looking run and carry off half back. Kept inside the field of play. Toby Wooler involved. We'll have a ball in. Just stepping out of play. He disagrees with the call. That'll be irrelevant though, because you don't have the whistle.
We've had a fairly good ruck battle here so far. Kieran Briggs, you called his name, Pennant Hills boy, local Sydney sider. He's got 5 hit outs so far. Really good battle with Smith from the Brisbane Lions. He's got 6 hit outs so far, so they're both really going head to head here.
Yeah, it's a battle worth watching just for that. 2 exciting young products, and they're not alone throughout this NEAFL competition. Always great to see the stars of the future plying their trade, and which of these young players can stick their hand up and show they're a class above their colleagues at this level and demand their opportunities at senior level. Tough stuff for the Lions this year, given how well the AFL side's going, but certainly opportunities as Cox's work is broken up and the Giants out of trouble yet again. Well handled by the Lions, and options through the defensive areas. You come to this broadcast side. Corey Lyons to Lewis Taylor. Heavy set young man. Matt Buntine. Great composure from him. And now to Jackson Haitley. Another great kick from them. And the Giants go goal side. Streaming towards the open area is Liam Delahunty. Delicate work from him. Certainly knows his way around the forward 50 and knows his way around the Sharon. That was terrific work and a delightful finish from the young man.
Yeah, very cheeky there from Delahunty. He knew he had the time and space and was able to put that beautiful finish, just dribbling the ball home, just bouncing it through the goals there. That was another defensive error there by the Lions. They looked like they had the number. Went for a bit of a risky pass. The Giants got the spoil in there and straight back inside 50 on a fast rebound play there. And resulted in a goal. And they're up now, the Giants. 5 goals, 1-31 to Brisbane, 5 goals straight, 30.
It'd be remiss of us not to make a little bit more of that as well. 5 goals, 1-31 the Giants. The Lions 5 straight, 30. Got a new leader. How about that, Giants fans? Briggs, this time unopposed. Smith lets him have it. Jackson Haitley, one of the better put together 18-year-olds you'll see as far as the physical specifics go. The Lions, though, keen to answer back. Good tackle from Buntine, puts the pressure on. Taylor lifts the eyes, and Bastanak coming through. As soon as the Giants take the lead, the Lions keen to wrestle it back.
Sharp response there from the Lions. Bastanak's been one of their best this season. Consistent NEAFL form. He's been one of the competition's best players so far. He's coming up for his 5th disposal here. 6th disposal here. He has his shot on goal.
He's already got 1 goal to his name. The kick looks good. Bastanak's form comes with a reputation. No fuss from the Lions here as they take the lead yet again. 6 goals straight, 36. Leading the Giants 5-1-31. Bastanak's got 2, joining Ballenden with 2. And singles from Cutler and Reese Matheson for the Giants. Goals to Ed Perryman, Harry Grant, 2 for Liam Delahunty. And looking pretty good, the Giants, but the Lions leading.
Yeah, good response there from the Lions. Just got beaten, a few goals on the run there for GWS. Just able to wrestle one back there, take control of the contest again and reclaim the lead.
25 minutes gone. And a good clearance for the Giants. Work it to ground at centre half forward. That'll be a free kick for high contact. So opportunities again for the home side. And having a bit of carry on too, which we don't necessarily mind. James Peatling has the footy. Won't be worried out of things. The hand pass comes for Cumming. Sends it long, and Eagles really good, but couldn't take the mark. So they're under the pump here, the Lions. Eagles keen to make amends, and a hurried kick, but decent work. Here's Haitley. Hand pass into congestion. Potentially a high contact free kick yet again, and it is. So the Giants muscling up and getting stuck in. This is Xavier O'Halloran with the football. Need to kick it all of 50, 51, 52 metres. 45-degree angle away to the right. We're smack bang behind it here on NEAFL TV in conjunction with broadcast partner Bar TV. And young Xavier O'Halloran, former captain of the Vic Metro side. That was last year. Wearing the number 33. So special to him and his family. The kick maybe just a little bit beyond him, and the distance potentially affects the accuracy. It's out of bounds on the full. And that 33 for O'Halloran was a number worn by his grandfather Roy McCarthy, who played for Footscray in the 1950s. So very special stuff for the O'Halloran family. And Xavier, a terrific young talent and seemingly terrific young man and great leader as the ball's worked out of play, and we'll have a ball in not long to go in this opening term. Sunday NEAFL footy round 20. Setting it up pretty solidly so far, Chris Corby.
Yeah, absolutely. Just watching here in the setup here, Lions didn't have too many forward there. Just seem to want to just close this out to make sure the Giants don't score again.
That is 3 in quick succession as far as high tackles go. This time Reese Matheson giving the free kick away to James Peatling. Oh, it's not a great kick. Well taken by Thomas Berry, who had to work his way around one of our field umpires. Goes to Bastanak and back to Berry. Berry, terrific step from him. Great composure. Sends it long. Brown's worked out of it. Mark not taken. Ball's hit the turf. Here's Matheson. Works around. Good kick from him, and the Lions starting to purr. Wouldn't quite call it a roar, but 2 goals in a row gives them an 11-point advantage late here in the opening term. Reese Matheson, good experience from him. Able just to stroke the kick under the pressure and send through his second goal. A couple of multiples for the Lions, Ballenden, Matheson and Bastanak.
Yeah, that was a great shot on goal there. Really good transition play. Lions again had no one forward, so when they got the free kick for the high contact, they just held it up, waited for a second, just waited for the forwards to get back in the run of it. Then that long kick went forward and found its man, and great play from the Brisbane Lions there. It's
entertaining stuff from these two sides. Very open, high scoring. Plenty of young talent taking the game on, which is good to see. And not short on physicality either. So both sides prepared to get stuck in. Haitley just about gets enough of his fist on the ball. The Lions, another clearance. Shipley does well in front of Taylor. Just allows some troops to arrive. The Lions up towards Robertson. Brown, though, involved. He's coming. By hand, the Lions. Bastanak towards the lead. Inside forward 50. We're going to get a free kick. Potential chop of the arms here. Where's that coming? Pleading his case. Be a free kick. I think that's Sam Skinner, perhaps.
Yeah, I think you're right there. The ball was kicked really well into the hole there, right in front of him. He could protect the space, and it just caused the defender just to reach in and chop the arms a bit to try and get to it. But delivery there is what really caused the free kick, and the Giants defender just trying to find something to get a hold of it.
So the Lions, a flurry late in the opening term here. That won't add to the majors. So just a behind, 7-1-43 for the visiting side. The Giants 5-1-31.
Just quickly looking at the stat sheet, Bastanak's been on fire this quarter. He's got up to 9 disposals so far and 2 goals as well. So he's been one of the best performers on ground. Eagles
looming large. Can't take the mark. He's been able to do that on a few occasions, but his work has been vital for the Lions on several fronts. Buntine drops the head. Good work from him. Haitley over the top. And a little trickle out of play. Lockie Squire involved. Recent recipient of a NEAFL Rising Star nomination. And Connor McFadden. 31 minutes almost played in this opening term. Had 12 goals kicked, so we're going deep in time on. Tom Fullerton before with that behind, not Sam Skinner, so apologies to all involved. Only one man wanting this ball, and it's Sam Skinner. Keen to make sure his name is involved accurately. This is good stuff from the Lions. Excellent stuff from the Giants, rather. Excellent stuff, in fact. And Shipley, with a little time to cut back inside. And Dylan Addison doesn't need him. Shipley from just about 50. Wonderful stuff from him. Isn't he building a nice little career for himself in the early stages of his Giants time? Nick Shipley spent a lot of time with the academy, now on the AFL list, and the Giants within 6 yet again.
Sensational poise there from Shipley. Got the ball, knew he had time and space, knew the man was just trying to corral him a bit there. Took his time, took a bounce, and fantastic skill execution there, kicking from just inside 50, launching for a goal there. He's a local Sydney boy as well, Nick Shipley. Campbelltown and Camden Junior, played for St George in the AFL Sydney Premier Division, and now plying his trade at the Giants. Having a very consistent year in the NEAFL.
And it's great to see him come on leaps and bounds. I remember a few years ago when he was playing with their NEAFL side, the Giants, as an academy star, and given his opportunity on the main list. And as good as ever at NEAFL level, Nick Shipley. Here's Robertson, able to get the kick away, dumped afterwards. Good attack on the ball by Brown. And put this forward 50 entry down to Callum Brown. And Addison, good strength from him. Plays such a vital role with this NEAFL side when he wears the jumper. Famous Giants talent and former Western Bulldog, Haitley. He's worked his way into the second half of this opening term. Starcevic, that was vital from him. Coming, hand pass broken up. Lewis Taylor. And Sherman Tank. Corey Lyons, inside forward 50. And the Lions with some errors. That is broken up by Harry Grant. Getting a bit done at both ends of the ground. Kicked an early goal. Now mopping up in defence. The kick isn't his best, and nor is the marking effort from Mitch Hinge. The Giants with Walker, but numbers. The Lions with Walker, rather. The Giants with numbers. Bastanak over the top. O'Halloran involved and seen out of play by the Lions. Mitch Hinge taking some deep breaths. He's been working hard. Darren Ratton, number 30. Here's a bit of work on the left's arm. Coming into the side late for this one. Briggs got hands to the ball. Here is O'Halloran. And it's broken up by the Lions. Toby Wooler, 34 minutes played here in the opening term. I'm sure the water will be welcome at quarter time. And there is the siren. An enthralling opening, 34 minutes in this round 20 NEAFL clash. The Giants 6-1-37. The Lions leading by a goal, 7-1-43. And right from the opening whistle, it's been high-class footy from some young stars of this competition. The Lions, though, after conceding a slim lead, able to work their way back into things. The Giants, lots to like as we head into the quarter-time break. We'll take a bit of a breather ourselves and be back in a few minutes. Quarter time here at Giants Stadium. Terrific to have your company. Thanks for staying with us and hope you're enjoying this round 20 NEAFL clash. The Giants, outstanding stuff from them to wrestle their way back into the contest. And at quarter time, 6-1-37, trailing the high-flying Lions 7-1-43. The Lions undefeated in season 2019. They just about swept aside everyone in front of them in terms of ease. They've done so in terms of result. Chris Corby, have you seen the opening term and some of the better performers?
Yeah, very high scoring first term here so far with both sides free-flowing, getting a lot of goals. Just quickly a disposal breakdown of who's getting the ball for both sides here. For the GWS Giants, O'Halloran, really good, 10 disposals. Haitley, 9 disposals. Cumming, 8 disposals. And for the Lions, Bastanak, outstanding, 10 disposals. 2 goals as well there for him. Hinge, 8 disposals. Taylor and Lyons both with 7 apiece. It's been a great contest. Really thrilling, fast football from both sides here.
I echo those sentiments, Chris Corby. And that's great to be back on the NEAFL live stream. And great to see the Lions flying on the back of that 2017 grand final win. And this exciting young list, their AFL side, doing wonders this year. A 1-point win against Geelong, stamping their card as a premiership fancy, the Lions. The Eagles taking on Richmond in Melbourne today. That should be a beauty too, but love you to stay with us here and enjoy the second, third and fourth quarters of this NEAFL clash. Archie Smith hands to the ball. Haitley picking up where he finished end of the first quarter. Play owns the call, so we'll have another ball up. Reminder of our umpires, Chris Corby, a couple of locals.
Yeah, that's right. So Matthew Bajan as well, very good out there today. He's made a few calls early. As we're back to the action here, with Shipley being wrapped up there really strongly, holding the ball.
Yeah, that's right. Unfortunate for Nick Shipley. He's good in the opening term, picked up a late goal. The Lions now through Mitch Hinge. Swinging one way, then back inside. And out the back it goes. Danger signs here for the Giants, and they rush it through for a minor score. The Lions taking a 7-point lead as we tick towards a minute gone in the second term at Giants Stadium. This is the penultimate round of the regular season. Giants can go up to fourth with a win. They're looking to inflict the Lions' first defeat of season 2019. Numbers here for the Giants. They need to talk. Jack Buckley decided he had the longer arms, so he'd take the mark, and that's pretty good work from the Giants. And now a bit of run and a bit of carry coming from McCrory. For O'Halloran, one of the stars of this match so far. A good kick. Giants looking good. Here's Grant sending it deep into attacking 50. And the mark will be paid.
It's a great play there. They just need to lower the eyes a bit there. GWS going really quickly up the wing there. Just need to look down for the short pass. There was a free man there, instead going to the one-on-one, and the Lions rebound this ball outside 50.
Toby Wooler goes long. Broken up very, very nicely. Great read of the flight by Callum Brown. 19 years of age and an Irish Gaelic football prodigy. Just strokes it into the corridor. Again, though, the Lions getting front position. Hayden Bonner bustled off the football. Heavy contact on Addison. Here's Eagles in a standing tackle from a couple. Now dumped to the ground from young Harry Grant, rather. Attacking corridor for the Giants. Archie Smith with the height advantage and strength too. Lewis Taylor, a hurried kick. Hand to it from Briggs. Good hand pass from him. Shipley outside of the 50. McCrory. Little stumble and goes to Shipley from onside, on the 50 rather. Shipley's kick didn't have the legs. Still danger for the Lions. Just a minor score. Pretty hot stuff from the Giants early. And a short kick for the Lions. Lewis Taylor with it.
Yeah, McCrory did really well there outside 50. Looked up, had about 9 Lions players in his face there. Was able to find the pass out to Shipley. Fortunately, Giants unable to capitalise on that chance.
That's a strong mark. Really good stuff from Sam Skinner. Out in front of Matt Buntine, the 221s. Enough to make Quinton Lynch a little bit teary, I'd say. Here's Corey Lyons. Looking to transfer. Kick needs to be good, and it is. Toby Wooler. Outside for Robertson. Lions building well. Cedric Cox. Good turn of pace and gets free. Takes the mark unopposed. So that ease of ball movement from the Lions looking dangerous when they're able to get free.
Yeah, looked very easy then. The perfect switch right across the ground. Found free running players. And again, looked like a train drill almost running inside 50 with an almost uncontested mark being taken.
Cedric Cox, hailing from Halls Creek in Western Australia. They'll be cheering that all the way from the Kimberley. Great stuff from him. So the Lions with the opening goal of this second term. Their 8th of the match. And they break the half century, 8-2-50, leading the Giants 6-38. Cedric Cox, a real weapon at this level. Hasn't had a huge amount of AFL football in season 2019. No games for him at the highest level. But doing great things here with the NEAFL side as they work towards what would be another favourite premiership win for Lions fans.
Yeah, you'd say the Lions are definitely premiership favourites this year. They're formed all through the season, fed by their senior side with a lack of injuries and great form. Have just built this resilient group, and you'd imagine they'll go deep into this NEAFL final series, and you'd expect them there on grand final day to challenge. Who will be there? We're not quite sure yet, but we'll definitely suggest the Lions will be one of those teams. As Dean Garraway bounces the ball.
Yeah, Archie Smith unopposed, but we'll bring it back. Odd bounce of the Sherrin football. And this time just tossed in the air. Briggs got a good fly and put Smith off. Lions doing well not to slip high in that tackle. And we will go again. Still inside the centre square. Lions led by a goal at quarter time. They've stretched that to 2. Early stages of this second term. Hayden Bonner was held back, so we'll receive a free kick. And the attacking side of the centre square for him and the Giants. He had options either side of him, but decides to go forward rather than to the parallel. So we welcome that as Bonner sends it long. Numbers with the Lions. And Eagles again can't take the mark. Maybe dragged off it. Has support. And out of defensive 50, the Lions go. Only as far as Isaac Cumming, though. At Buckley, pleading for the football in the attacking corridor. Goes shorter, though. And Tommy Sheridan with the mark. So good stuff from the Giants, lining up around the defensive side of their attacking 50, hoping to keep it in and doing a good job.
Again, we've seen the Lions just struggling to get outside 50 again. Did really well to mop up there and then just threw it on the boot and just couldn't find a target, leaving 50. Giants for a fairly stagnant forward line only had 1 or 2 moving targets and they were able to find one of them. But Lions defenders just unable to find passes, leaving 50 at the moment and giving the Giants a good leg up in this contest.
Tommy Sheridan, the former Docker, one of the most experienced players on this Giants NEAFL side, misses to the right. So one behind for the home side, 6-3-39. Lions 8-50. 7 minutes played in the second turn. The Lions looking to move it quickly. It was good work from Bastanak to get free. And he'll go short. It's good support play from the Lions. Ballenden calling forward in the shadows of the grandstand and takes the mark. Had a bright start to this one, Connor Ballenden. Been relatively quiet in comparison since. Eli Smith involved, giving him the ball. A great mark from the Lions. Plenty of people flying for it. Tom Fullerton, eyes only for the football and takes a good mark in traffic. Now just sets it up. Doesn't worry too much about the distance. It's off hands. There will be a free kick and it is going the way of Brisbane Lions. No one really sure who it's going to. Eli Smith will happily take it.
Defenders, just a little bit of panic there. They had no one inside 50 when that mark was taken on the wing, the one that went inside 50 there. They quickly flooded the numbers back. And again, Giants defenders just a little bit panicked there as the ball entered 50 and just giving away a bit of a soft free kick there, really.
Eli Smith. Brightly coloured boots and a great spot for a set shot. Sneaks it in to the inside of that left goal post, Eli Smith. So fortuitous stuff in terms of the free kick. Not in terms of fortuitous that the umpires got it wrong, but more just in terms of the Lions getting the free kick. And Eli Smith with his first major today.
Fast start here in the second quarter for the Lions. They've been able to be really efficient here. Giants have had a couple of chances and they haven't been able to get on the scoreboard with a major, but the Lions, couple of entries, couple of goals, and they're just pulling clear of the GWS Giants again here.
A moderate crowd at Giants Stadium. A couple of police officers riding their push bikes over on the far concourse, enjoying this high-scoring, high-quality NEAFL affair. Most of the fans so far enjoying the facilities on this broadcast side of the ground. The Lions looking to mop up in defensive 50. Jacob Allison goes for Bastanak, has had a mountain of the ball. Archie Smith, quick hands, and now under pressure the Lions. Good stuff from the Giants, sticking to their task as it's now worked out for Lewis Taylor. Just about as wide as he is tall, and the kick's broken up. This is great from the Giants. James Peatling streaming towards goal. The kick's not his best, and it'll trickle towards the boundary line and out of play. Hands on the knees from James Peatling. Knew he had an opportunity with an open goal square. And we will have a ball in. Still dangerous territory for the Lions.
Flack did really well here on the broadcast wing just before, getting that intercept in and almost intercepting the kick a couple of metres off the boot there, causing that chance for GWS to get forward.
10 minutes gone now in the second term. Opportunity for the Giants. If they can get boot to ball, it's a hot football. Right towards the goal line, and Matt Eagles with the sideways roll sees it over for another behind for the Giants. 6-4-40. The Lions 9-2-56, and Brisbane work at the appropriate 15 metres. And Bastanak by foot. We're now with Eli Smith. Not 15 now. Empire's hot on that now, and Brown is worked out of it. The mark unable to be taken by Connor McFadden. Brown diving back in. A lot to like from Callum Brown early, first half of this one. And he's been made of his story coming across from Ireland and County Derry. And he's getting stuck in. Connor McFadden too, so he's a well-built young man, is Brown. 19 years of age, and Giants liking what they saw when they brought him across for a trial last year. Ballenden, good strength from him, wins it down. Haitley maybe slipping high. And there is Brown, but giving away the free kick. Maybe a little bit too exuberant. McFadden short. Lions had an option inside the centre circle, goes short of a Taylor. And back for Lions. So just getting the stats up. And it'll bounce over the back. Brown and Belbassis seeing the ball over, where the 50-metre arc meets the boundary line. Attacking side of the ground for the Lions. It's been a little while.
Yeah, it has been. Just checking in disposals again. Bastanak really good so far. 13 disposals so far this contest, so he's added a few since quarter time. Taylor for the Lions as well, been really impressive with 12. Halloran, 11 disposals. I don't believe he's had a disposal for the Giants since quarter time there. So Brisbane really controlling the contest so far.
Ballenden outside for Hinge, a high football. And a good fist coming from Matt Buntine. Ends up in row G, Giants Stadium.
Delivery just a bit lofted there, just couldn't pick out a good pass, kind of floated forward there to a contest, and easy pickings for the Giants defenders just to swat that one into the stands.
Excuse me. Boundary throw in. Contested ball out of danger momentarily for the Giants. And ducking the head into high contact. Umpire right there and allowing things to go. Have a ball up inside the centre square. Connor Ballenden up against Liam Delahunty. Robertson, very physical. Corey Lyons happy to use Xavier O'Halloran to help him up. Ballenden slaps it forwards. Half broken up by Matthew McCrory. And for the third time in quick succession, we require the umpire's assistance. Good contested stuff here, mid-stages of the second term. Lions leading by 16 after leading by a goal at quarter time. Ballenden with a ruck knock off the top of his head. The bouncing ball inside, attacking 50 for the Lions. And just for a bit of familiarity, we'll have a ball up from the central umpires.
Yeah, quite a few repeat stoppages here. Dean Garraway certainly getting his arm work out today of his well-renowned guns, as he tells his umpire training group, as he balls the ball up for about the 5th time in a row.
Being worked well early doors. McCrory. That head of hair is something to behold. Not seen that before. Really delightful stuff. Here's Robertson, smashed by Aidan Bonner. Well read from him. And out of play we go. Darren Ratton in jersey number 30 for the Giants, unable to take the mark, and wholesale changes coming from the Lions. One of those players coming on is Archie Smith, and Reece Matheson coming on to Jackson Haitley back into proceedings. And there's Briggs and Smith, the opening ruck combinations, back at it, and they'll get another crack because the ball is out of play.
Just a bit slower here this quarter. We now approach the 15-minute mark of the second. Very slow kind of passage here in the middle for the last 5 minutes or so. Lots of repeat stoppages, ball ups, boundary throw-ins. Just a little bit of the sting's gone out of the contest a bit here.
Can't disagree with that. Archie Smith is bundled out of the way. Briggs holds things up with Ryan Lester. So again, Smith and Briggs, Robertson looming. Briggs works Smith out of it, gets him off balance, and we'll have a free kick. And it's going the way of Reece Matheson. Boots gleaming in this bright August sunshine in Sydney's west. Lovely conditions. There is a slight breeze. And Lions allowing an unopposed marking contest. Here they go through Ryan Lester. This time plenty of pressure on the marking attempt. But how about this from Cutler? Outside of the right boot from Cutler. And it is a goal for the Lions. Far too easy come the finish. He's returning from a foot injury and using those feet to great effect. Tommy Cutler.
Really fast play there from the repeat stoppages, turning over, out of zone umpire, pays a free kick there in the centre, and Brisbane break forward. Kick to the player leading out of the goal square and just spilled, and they were able to mop that up brilliantly, just showing that their forward line's got the experience to know where the ball's going to drop if a mark isn't taken by their big forwards. So Lions, bit of a run here this quarter now. 10 goals to 62 to GWS, 6-4-40. Out to a 22-point lead now.
Second goal for Tom Cutler. Always enjoy watching him go about his work. Smith and Briggs. Geez, Briggs has been good. 19 years of age and holding his own against Archie Smith, who has a lot of experience at this level. Matheson. So too he does. And Brown with one arm held. Fists it away, but will receive the free kick. "17 minutes gone in the second term. McCrory. It's at high. Robertson front position, hand to it from Mitch Hinge. And now at ground level, Kane Flack doing really well and great strength. The kick wasn't his best under strong pressure. Bastanak out for Lewis Taylor. The Lions starting to get a real wriggle on. It's away to the left and only one behind from Lewis Taylor. Got a Giants player down. It's Kane Flack who looks to be holding his stomach or sternum area. So maybe copped a shot a little bit late or within that contest. He was under heavy pressure when he disposed of the ball with Jackson Haitley, South Australian, via way of, I think, born in Canberra. Work from Squire and Shipley involved outside. And Squire getting himself into a bit of trouble. Now Matheson for the Lions. Strokes the ball inside forward 50 and a big stretch and a good mark for Sam Skinner. He looks keen to do Only one thing, and that's dish it off. But key forward with a mark inside 50, 45-degree angle. Like to see Sam Skinner settle and take the shot. Looks like he now will. There's plenty of him. 100 kilograms and 198 centimetres, and still looks to dish it off. So not happy with the journey, Sam Skinner. Reece Matheson crumbs the ball front and centre. At ease that the Lions get their work done. No fuss from Matheson. The Lions stretching their lead, 11-3-69. The Giants 6-4-40. Yet to add to their quarter-time score as far as goals. Well, the Giants and Reece Matheson now with 3 goals, 2 in the first term, 1 here in the second. Great position from him.
We're seeing a tale of almost 2 quarters here. The first quarter, very fast, free-flowing football from both teams. Change of tactics, it seems, in this quarter. It's been a lot more congested, hard-working football here, and the Lions showing their bigger bodies against the younger GWS side, and they've just been able to dominate the contest here and get a few goals in a row and really get that ball rolling. And the GWS just really have to find an answer here to this run of goals from the Lions. They've looked very impressive.
And they've locked down on them well too, haven't they? Halloran, as you touched on before, hasn't seen as much of the ball. And that is wonderful work from Connor Ballenden. Great strength. Matheson with the clearing kick. That sort of play, composure and discipline and organisation that the Lions have used so well in season 2019. Here's Connor Ballenden. 2 goals of his own in the opening term. The lead is 29. Ballenden with the set shot and hits the post. 3/5 of the way up. And a minor score for him. The lead is 30.
Ballenden's really impressed me today. 2 goals. He almost got a third there, but 9 disposals as well. He's been really prominent.
Not a great kick from the Giants. Matheson will receive a free kick for high contact. Brown slipping high. Matheson just waiting for the call. Congested forward 50, and Matheson being sharpened up away to the right. Approaching 21 minutes played here in the second term. It's been all the Lions as far as the scoreboard goes in the second. Matheson ignores the lead. Looking for goal number 4. The accuracy again thwarting their charge here at Giants Stadium. It's Matheson with a minor score, the lead 31. And a lot of congestion for the Giants to pick their way through. Isaac coming towards this side. Briggs and Archie Smith, no one getting involved, and Smith happy to see it over and go back and resume hostilities with Briggs in the ruck contest.
Giants were almost all stations defence there. They had every player the other side of the square just then, all inside the defensive 50, trying to stop the Lions' massive run here.
Smith for Robertson, great stuff from him, good strength. The Giants looking to get it out. Buntine, always like what we see from him. Could that be 50? Modest calls for it against Walker. His young Perryman. A goal to his name. Younger brother of Harry. And inside forward 50. Buckley was good. Hayden Bonner coming through. Needs to show strength and does so. Wrapped up now in a standing tackle from Corey Lyons. A young Ed Perryman, 1 goal for him. Younger brother, as mentioned, of Harry. 65 kilograms he tips the scales at. That's brilliant stuff from him. And he's getting it done at NEAFL level against some very heavy bodies. And a bit of contact here. O'Halloran dumped into the turf. And there is a little bit of carry-on coming from Lions. For the Lions. The kick, surely not 15, and it's not. O'Halloran looking to return serve. Robertson, hand pass outside. Bit of feeling starting to build. Allison with the kick, and now back to his feet. It's with Eagles. Kick for Walker. Goes inside. Here's Lions again. They've got a few options on our broadcast side. Potentially look to use those, or even better, go through the middle of the ground. It's Taylor. Got it from Leicester. Goes back in that direction. Robertson's got free inside the centre square. So good support work from the Lions. Running and staying active, providing options. And Cedric Cox doing just that. Hand pass now for Ben Keys. They pick their way through the middle of the ground. Keys gets it again from right on 50. Keys on the left. It is away to the right. And another minor score. So a string of behinds for the Lions. They're peppering the goals but unable to build a commanding lead. They're certainly in control on the scoreboard, but a few missed opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. They've let them off a bit here. They've got a decent lead, but it could be so much more right now. But great set up there. That last one just needed to be a goal. They were just chipping it, hand passing it. Must have been about 30 disposals for that goal, just working off the half-back line. It was going everywhere and just unable to capitalise.
Still, they're lining up. Great stuff from Smith for Robertson. A hand pass for Taylor. He's 4'3". It's gone miles over his head. Still, though, the Lions persist. Buntine, important for the Giants. And great calm from him. And young Perryman, dwarfed by Mitch Hinge. And it's punched out of play on the far side of Giants Stadium. Bright sunshine glistening off the red bucket seats. No doubt a number will be full as the AFL match follows this. The Western Bulldogs are in town. Bouncing ball here in this NEAFL clash. Allison can't gather. The Grizzly Adams beard, which we always welcome. And very sun smart from him too, just protecting that skin from the harmful rays. Eli Smith, a strong tackle on Matt Belbassis. Play on's the call. And the umpires will get involved yet again. 25 and a quarter minutes played. Round 20 NEAFL football. Hope you're enjoying it. Wherever you're tuning in around the world. We can say that these days. NEAFL live stream in partnership with Bar TV. Remember a few years ago tuning in from Baku, Azerbaijan in the 2015 season during the European Games. Not too sure there's much of a following for the NEAFL in Azerbaijan anymore, but at least we get the unique views up. A bit of a lull as the Lions take control of this clash. Pretty good work from them. Sam Skinner at left half forward. And underneath our nose, the Lions players lining up to bring some fresh legs on. All 5 of the bench ready to make some changes. Giants with 3 changes coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Those Lions players have been lined up for about 2 minutes there. The ball's been stuck over that far wing, haven't been able to rotate. They've been very keen to get back on the ground.
And they will get that opportunity because Sam Skinner has kicked his first goal of the afternoon. And what a second term it's been for the Lions. 12 goals, 678, leading the Giants 6 goals, 440. A 38-point lead now. And the Giants unable to kick a goal in the second term. They've added 3 behinds rather. And at quarter time, they were looking good. 6-point margin after the opening 34 or so minutes. And that has stretched out to 38 points. So a 32-point swing for the Lions. They really are flexing their muscle. They're on top of the NEAFL ladder after 19 rounds. And regardless of what happens in this round and the next round, they will be the minor premiers as Smith sends it long again. Front position for the Giants, and Matt Buntine, former Bachelor of the Year, takes the mark and sends it to the far side of Giants Stadium. Good mark taken from Lachlan Squire, the round 18 Rising Star nomination. In his second year of NEAFL football, a transfer of play. Iden waiting for it, and Cedric Cox reads it well and now sets it up into Matheson. Far too easy again for Brisbane Lions NEAFL side, and Reece Matheson a chance for goal number 4.
In the first, we saw the Giants making the Lions pay for a lot of sloppy defensive exits there. The Lions making the Giants pay. A bit of payback for them. They're just intercepting the mark on half-back and squaring it up in the middle. They're certainly on a big run here, and the Giants just unable to stop them at present.
Loves a bit of beast mode. Reese Matheson. He wouldn't be loving his kicking right now. 3 goals, 2 for him. A couple of behinds in a row. 39 points the margin.
Just a quick run through the Brisbane Lions goal scorers so far. Matheson, 3 goals. Barlin, 2 goals. 2 goals to Bastanak. 2 goals as well to Cutler. 1 to Cox and 1 to Skinner. And also another one to Smith as well. So they've shared it round today, and there's a couple of small bags there as we approach half-time. They've been very impressive up forward.
Iden took the mark and sends it long. A couple of Giants players slow to get back up, and a bit of frustration too. Haitley was one of them. He looks all right, and young Jack Buckley looked frustrated with himself. Smith gets a hand to the ball. Bastanak. And now Ben Keys gets the hand pass away for Bastanak, cuts back inside. Hand pass into the middle of a number of Giants, and now out of defensive 50 they come. Long probing ball. Ratton needed to be good, was decent, but Walker waiting. And now Long. And that shouldn't really happen, you'd say. Not quite uncontested, but Tom Fullerton. It's a couple of times, I'm pretty sure, with him that they've sort of just waited for somebody to go up, and he's been more than happy to oblige and been the only man really to fly at the football and take a couple of marks.
Yeah, that's right. He's been throwing himself at the ball. But that one there, just a bit of a hack entry, just coming from centre wing. Just almost dropped in his lap. He was the only man who wanted to fly for it. Giants kind of defenders looking at each other, trying to figure out what was happening as he slots it over the goal umpire's head.
Yeah, great stuff from Tom Fullerton, former Brisbane Bullets, set up with the National Basketball League franchise. He's certainly got the ability to read the ball in flight and showing his athleticism, but also his technical execution. A great kick off the boot. The Lions lead by 45 in the shadows of half-time. Tom Fullerton with his first. And things are going beautifully for the Brisbane Lions. AFL and NEAFL set up. You've got your Category B rookies like Tom Fullerton playing like that. You know, you're doing a lot of things right.
Something you don't normally see at NEAFL level is the use of the sign cards like they've got at the Elite AFL level. The Brisbane bench is holding up the cards currently, so not many of the NEAFL outfits, even the AFL affiliates, use the card system, but Lions certainly giving their players every opportunity to push for senior football, getting them used to the system.
Yeah, we like that as Ben Key's kick is broken up. Last line of defence for the Giants, Nicholas Murray. And given the state of affairs with Brisbane's AFL side charging towards a potential grand final berth, they need all of these players ready and on the same page as to what they're doing. And from a performance and results perspective at NEAFL level, they are certainly that. At halftime, the Lions leading by 45 points, and it was a dominant second term that sets them up for what would be a massive second half, or should be at least. The Giants unable to kick a goal in the second term, just the 3 behinds for them at halftime. Brisbane 13 goals, 785. The Giants 6 goals, 440. We will take a few minutes and have a quick break. We'll look forward to bringing you all of the second half soon. The second half not too far away in this round 20 NEAFL clash. Brisbane Lions having their way with the Giants in the second term, and at halftime lead 13 goals 785 to the Giants 6 goals for 40. Chris Corby, a sparkling day, round 20 football, the penultimate round of the regular season. The Giants on top of the Lions rather on top of the ladder. The Giants had a chance and still do to go fourth on the ladder with a win today, but the Lions haven't lost all season, and after leading by 6 at quarter time, we saw just about the best from them in the second term.
That's right. Lions at their best in this second term. First term, very fast, free-flowing football where both teams were able to match it with each other. Second quarter, the Lions were able to show why they're the best team in this comp by a margin this year in the home and away season. Are able to show with goals as well, with 13 first-half goals to their name, that they're one of the teams to beat this year coming into the final series. Just quickly onto disposals for the first half. The Lions, Taylor 16 disposals, Robertson 15, Matheson 15, Bastanak 15, having a great year Bastanak, and Hinge with 14. While the Giants coming with 17s, Haitley with 13 and O'Halloran with 12. So the Lions have dominated the football, loads of disposals there. And as we come back into the second half, the Giants have got something to prove as they're looking towards their charge to September and potentially a NEAFL flag opportunity there. As umpire Dean Garraway holds the ball up in the air to get us started in the third quarter.
Archie Smith and Kieran Briggs, no surprise to see them as the starting ruckman in this second half. And we will come back and do that all again. And Smith flies early. Both ruckmen miss it. Smith with a little bit of a look over there. There it is. And away we go. Lewis Taylor bustling through. Eli Smith wrapped up by Briggs. And we'll have a ball up. In fact, I think there's Smith. Cedric Cox gets boot to ball. And it trickles up towards Bastanak. A couple of bites at it. Lewis Taylor's been superb. And the run of Cox from 50. It's an open goal square. And it gets nowhere near it come the finish. It's out of play. And a ball in. But already that run through the middle and the pace of Cedric Cox. Alarm bells might be ringing for the Giants.
Absolutely. That was great movement inside 50 there. Had a shot from 50. Just didn't catch it as he'd like. But that was really positive movement there from the Lions. Showing their intent a minute into the third quarter here.
Haitley keeping close check on Cedric Cox now. What to like about Haitley's game and the way he's navigating the year. The Lions with Cutler pursuing the ball. Just fumbles a little bit. And Connor Iden pursuing him. And Archie Smith wheels around and on the right goes towards Cutler. Iden did just enough and now spun around. Keys outside for Lions has the run of Smith. And Smith from inside the attacking corridor makes a meal of that. And it is just a minor score. Was lucky to sneak it through. That is the first score of the second half, a behind for the Lions. And Buntine goes to Cumming. And Cummings now going down the line. Smith working with Briggs. It's off hands and worked out well. Liam Delahunty he battles well after being dispossessed, and Briggs under pressure from Eagles sends it long. It's an open forward 50. No free kick paid. There's Brown overrunning it. And Allison back for Jack Payne. We haven't seen much of him. He's hanging out in the defensive 50. Very quiet second term for the Lions defence. A couple of decent pieces of play and rebounding well. The Giants a chance to try and mount a comeback. Delahunty in the ruck against Smith. Good battle. Here's Lewis Taylor, and he'll win the free kick. Lot to like about him in the second term. Certainly keeps battling hard, Lewis Taylor. 5 AFL games this year. 24 years of age, so he'll establish this middle part of his Australia Rules football career. The Lions. Great awareness and knowledge of where each other will be. And Cedric Cox, how he is free in the middle of the ground is just about anyone's guess. Good stuff from the Lions. They're building really nicely. Bastanak dragged off it. Was able to come back towards the contest, but decent mark in defence for the Giants and Isaac Cumming. He's going to the left back pocket. And all the way back the Giants go. Nicholas Murray, the last line of defence.
Yeah, it was a really impressive run for the midfield there from the Lions. They're showing their premiership credentials here. It's almost an audition for September here, battling a side in finals contention. And then they were just unable to find a target there inside 50 as the Giants moved the ball quickly up the wing.
Yeah, Matthew Rod Stewart McGrory involved, and the hand pass misses him. Too fast with that main flying down the wing of Giants Stadium. And now Eagles mops up to Allison and Hinge, and Eagles again, and now Lions. Lovely stuff from Brisbane, and Allison sends it far for Tommy Berry. Goes for a gallop down the outer side. And Fullerton, Tom Cutler calling for options, and goes out for Tommy Berry. Takes a good mark, a couple of grabs at it, and he's done well to run on and take that mark. He's had a big NEAFL season, Tom Berry. Younger brother of fellow Lion Jared. Picked up in last year's draft and has had a great fist of his debut NEAFL season. And lining up for goal number 1. It's a tough shot, but we saw Connor Ballenden stroke it through from here for the game's opening goal a couple of hours ago now. Can Berry do likewise? He can't. It's across the face and one behind. So 47 points the margin.
He missed there, but he did really well with the contested mark, one-on-one on Shipley. Shipley's not the easiest target. They're actually a fairly good matchup as well, size and height-wise. Maybe with Berry giving away just a little bit of weight to the second-year Shipley. He did really well there to take a strong contested grab.
Kellen Brown from a couple back, can't quite get the fly. Connor Ballenden had a couple of grabs at it and he's paid the mark. Doing a bit of work away from the goal square now and up around centre-half forward. It'll please a lot of Lions fans. Buntine composed again. So important. And Ballenden flew from the side. Briggs was involved. So too Jack Payne, who battles on. Here is Briggs. The hand pass was decent. And this kick, just a high looping ball. Eagles came in. Hard up against the boundary line. Ballenden again. Hand pass. Not the best work. Eagles dispossessed under pressure. And here's O'Halloran. There is no one inside forward 50. And it's a foot race for Peatling. And his opposite in Ryan Lester. Lester doing well. And allowing troops to come. And here they are for the Lions. Starcevic sends it to the far side of the ground. And a good mark taken. The Lions escape. Looks like Tom Fullerton over on the outer side. And a big looping kick. Buntine involved again. Shipley needs to be big here if they can mount a comeback. It's a good kick. Put it where only Harry Grant could take the mark. It will be a difficult shot for him, but we've seen him kick a goal already today. Smart young footballer and often puts himself in the right position. Member of this Giants Academy, has produced so much talent over the past few years. Also the Canberra Demons set up, who have been a force of late. A right foot kick, and it's shallow. One behind for the Giants. So a rare foray on the scoreboard for them, but good to see Nick Shipley and Harry Grant combining.
Yeah, Shipley's pass there was really great. Just dropped into the space in front of him, and he really well protected it there too.
Ballenden can't get a fly. Liam Delahunty can. Again, the support from the Lions is superb. Bastanak, it's not Bastanak in fact, it's Connor McFadden. Robertson over for Matheson. Haitley with good pressure. Matheson, a little bit errant with the disposal. Great follow-up from him. O'Halloran likewise, and now with Ballenden. Back for McFadden, centre wing. And a high ball. Matheson eyes for the man rather than the ball, but stays down. Links well, and now it's Bastanak. That's a delightful kick for the Lions. Inside forward 50. Taylor can't take the mark. Shipley involved was important. Cutler out for Taylor. Gets it away to Robertson. Right foot kick. And away to the right yet again for the Lions. So death by 1,000 cuts at the moment.
That's something I noticed a lot with the Lions move forward a bit this year. We saw it earlier a few weeks ago at Blacktown. When they get a mark inside 50, their teammates instantly look for the square-up kick. In that case, they just aren't able to find the target, but it can be deadly when it comes off.
It's an important mark for the Giants at centre half-back. Callum Brown battling again, unable to take the mark. The Lions' defensive pressure's been good. Here's Delahunty. Great kick and sends it towards the goals. Just had a tiny bit too much on it. And that'll roll out of play. We'll have a ball in. Dylan Addison unable to get the legs moving fast enough. They have had their moments, the Giants, mostly in that first term and early here in the third. And it's a big mountain to climb. 47 points the margin. Lions have stretched it by 2, and it'll be a reprieve for them. Ballenden working through the ruck nicely and around the ground. A good mark taken by Toby Wooler. And short to Corey Lyons, who's been prominent. Huge NEAFL season from him, averaging 35 disposals over the past weeks. And this time, able to take the mark, Toby Wooler.
Since quarter time, we've seen a lot of this short passing from the Lions. First quarter, opting it more often than not to take it on foot, long kicks up the line. Ever since quarter time, really. Lots of short passes and handballs to work the ball out. Have seen umpire Matthew Bagent run in to ball the ball up.
Haley will come off. O'Halloran coming back on. Well held in the second quarter, O'Halloran, after 10 disposals in the first. He's been good to start the third. Here's Keys. Touched, play on's the call. Good run from Aidan Bonner. And now in a bit of trouble. And is holding the ball. And a really strong tackle from Eli Smith. What to like about him? 21 in last year's draft, 18 years of age. And a terrific vertical jump at the combine, 77 centimetres. It's just about the entire height of Lewis Taylor. Of course, an exaggeration. Lewis Taylor's been superb. A real dynamo. Reece Matheson goes long. Archie Smith gets hands to the ball, and second effort's good. They've got a couple of former basketballers. Archie Smith, a prodigious talent on the hard court. Fullerton ties to the Brisbane Bullets too. Here's Walker. Great stuff. Good desperation from O'Halloran, but Walker able to follow it up. Here's Robertson in amongst 4 Giants players, and they swarm on him. Holding the ball's the call. It's good reward for the Giants, and Robertson, surprise, surprise, keen to get stuck in. And he's given away 50. The Giants and O'Halloran will be marched just about to within scoring range. He's a really impressive young man, Xavier O'Halloran. A little bit too far, you'd think, and plenty of congestion inside forward 50. So he needs the runners. Just opts to set it up. It's off hands, and that's worked a few times for the Giants. This time the Lions clear it out. Calls for deliberate. It has been paid. The rushed clearing kick penalised, and Lachlan Squire with the duties. Now called to move it. It's good work from Keys to put the pressure on. A big ball into forward 50. Yet again, the Lions able to mop it up. Bastanak, a great kick. And look at the numbers. Everybody just working super hard for the Lions. Now with Eli Smith. Goes back. Toby Wooler. He lays it off. It's pretty good stuff from Brisbane. Now Hinge. They're looking to transfer. Leicester. With Allison. And the kick will bounce in front of Sam Skinner. Hand pass a little bit wild, and it brings Belbassis into things. Bouncing ball inside the centre. Here's Starcevic. Cool, calm head, and outside to Reece Matheson. Ball use is good from the Lions. Patient stuff, and here is Lewis Taylor. Just about the best on ground so far today. Not his best work by foot. Might still work out, though, for the Lions. And here is Eli Smith Hyden with the spoil. Archie Smith's shot at goal a little bit too shallow. And one behind is called. So a little bit of an error from Lachlan Squire. But doesn't cost them too much. It'll be now in the hands of the experienced Buntine.
Lions here, while GWS are matching them this quarter, their two-way running just on rebound there, it just felt like there were so many men free, and that's just their two-way running, and they're working hard in defence and attack as well.
Good mark from Walker. Kick again. Some of these disposals from Brisbane certainly giving the Giants an opportunity, and Belbassis sends it towards Brown and Leicester. Leicester did well. Brown now needs to be really good. That's good support again from Brisbane. A lot to like about them. Very polished. Halloran, surely a free kick, and it is. Looked inside. Now needs someone down the line. Oh, that's really good stuff from Brisbane. Just wanted it more, Mitch Hinge. Now Jack Buckley just sitting off a little bit. Mitch Hinge. Half the man numerically in terms of the number on the jumper, but twice as much desire on that occasion. Smith, a couple of grabs, can't quite collect it on the way down. Lions leading by 48. Going to have another ball in as the wind whips up around Giants Stadium. Swirling breeze, still very pleasant conditions as the undefeated Brisbane Lions flex their NEAFL muscle. Briggs and Smith in the ruck. Smith front position. Big palm wins it down. Here's Corey Lyons outside of the right boot. Belbassis front position, but that bounce of the ball evades him. Here's Lewis Taylor. Strange little kick from him. He was trying to stroke it into the path of Ryan Lester. The Lions looking for options in the corridor. Tommy Sheridan going well, and Buntine. Kick needs to be good. Just inside, and Connor Iden maybe made it look a little bit better than it was. What have you made of Connor Iden in season 2019? Looks to be a really solid talent.
Yeah, Connor Iden, he's building his form. He's one of those talents you think he'd push for senior selection maybe next year on the back of another really good pre-season for him. But definitely one of those talents to watch in the NEAFL competition. As you know, many talented youngsters for all teams applying their trade.
He's had an opportunity in 2019 to show his wares, the London-born Connor Iden. Right now he's mounting up on Ryan Lester in defensive 50. 16 and a quarter minutes played in the third term. Brisbane 13-11-89, the Giants 6-5-41. And Bonner just there's the old plank over the top of the football. Haven't seen one of those for a while. Good to see the viral sensations coming back.
It's interesting to see here now that we're 16 minutes through the third quarter here. Both sides very tough at the ball. Probably the hallmark of this quarter so far. Both with about equal chances, but just missing a few chances on both sides, with neither side able to take advantage of their runs of play up forward. Lions looked a little bit more structured moving forward, I think, so far this quarter, while the Giants have only really had the one structured inside 50 with Shipley over the far side. Giants just tending to hack it a little bit more inside 50, just pumping it long, almost tempting foot races a few times as well, as we see another hack kick forward.
Yeah, Squire put it on the boot. Just hoping for a bit of fortune, and potentially calls for high, and it will be paid. So Jack Buckley rewarded for his attack on the football, and Matt Eagles penalised for his attack on the man. And a great scoring opportunity for Jack Buckley. It would be the Giants' first goal since the opening term, after being held to just 3 behinds in the second. And Jack Buckley, one of the best for the Giants. 2 goals for him in that opening term, and has been really putting in, trying very hard. And you'd hope from here, given the situation, that he's able to convert. Really important stuff for Jack Buckley. 45 metres the kick comes from, and it's away to the right and 1 behind. So the drought continues for Greater Western Sydney's NEAFL side. 6 goals, 6-42 now. Trailing the Lions by 47. Allison goes long. It'll stay inside the field of play, but off hands and out of play.
Buckley's looked pretty impressive today as well. 2 goals, like you said. Local Sydney boy as well, playing for the Giants there. Drafted through UNSW out of the AFL Sydney Premier Division. Played some really great season of footy there to get drafted. I think it was 2 years ago now. He's really bulked up a bit, a couple of pre-seasons in the gym. Looking like a good talent up forward. Great fly at the ball.
Speaking of which, Cutler was good there, breaking it up. And Aidan Bonner, a quick snap on goal, one behind, and there's a bit of feeling behind play. Callum Brown not too happy with things, and Aidan Bonner's just turned his back, and now Callum Brown's got a couple of men to deal with. Bodies fly as the ball comes through the defensive corridor for the Lions. A bushranger, Allison. Hand pass for Ryan Lester. A bounce, and now a second. It is opening up for him and the Lions. Lester outside of the right boot, and the kick isn't the most polished. We've seen that a bit. Cedric Cox, though, adds a bit of polish. Just the one behind is the result, though, for him. And a little bit of a stretch of the hammies and the calves.
Well, Lester was great running through the middle there. We've got the hand pass received, 2 bounces through the middle. Ran all the way to the end of his length before dropping that one inside 50 there. But great fast transition play there from Brisbane.
47 points to margin. The fly will come from McGrory. Bonner, good hand pass. Good run too from Lachlan Squire. These are the moments as a Giants fan I imagine you're pretty happy with. But as you've touched on, Chris Corby, just that final area, maybe a little bit rushed or the option's not quite there. Going to play the run and gun. The Lions equal to it, able to get men back and break it up as Bonner gets a hand to things. He's got Shipley, and Shipley from centre half forward looking for the option. And it works pretty well this time around for Greater Western Sydney's NEAFL side. Really good ball movement. And the slight figure of Zane Barzan. One of the late additions to this Giants NEAFL side today. Good mark from him. And a good area inside forward 50. Hopefully for them he can convert and break that drought. Barzan. Kick from about 37, 38 metres out. Looks pretty good. And you'd hope they all go to him because it's been a while coming. And he is one of the young stars of this NEAFL side. They've got to get him involved. Got to try and make him feel welcome at NEAFL level. The Giants' first goal since quarter time. Their 7th of the match. 7-7-49, trailing the Lions 13-12-90.
Barzan did really well there to get that goal. It was a beautiful, beautiful kick. The goal umpire barely moved. But there, like you said, the Giants hacked to kick forwards. It wasn't really a structured inside 50 entry. They went quick on the transition, almost opted for the foot race, and they got the second bite of the cherry thanks to some great defensive work on the wing. Shipley with a sensational kick, just finding the target. And they'll need a lot more of that kind of play. It was really positive there for them with the lead-up target the second term round. But Giants trailing here. Giants 7-7-49 to the Brisbane Lions 13-12-90. 21 minutes gone in the third quarter.
Young Delahunty into the ruck. Liked what we've seen from him today. 2 goals and good work around the ground. Another opportunity for Greater Western Sydney. Strong work inside attacking 50. And Callum Brown off the left boot. And away to the near side, one behind.
Oh, that was really exciting play there. Just picked it up and instantly threw it on the left and almost got there as well. They seem to be swarming a bit here, the Giants. They've picked up a little bit of intensity this quarter and they're just capitalising the last couple of minutes, looking quite dangerous.
And I love that term that you use, intensity, for the Giants. Callum Brown's been the one bringing it. They don't want to be bullied here on their home turf by the might of the Brisbane Lions NEAFL side. Someone like Callum Brown a chance, although not a traditional AFL background or Australian rules background, and still a young man showing good leadership, and again just tapping it ever so cleverly into a dangerous attacking spot. And numbers with the Giants. Haitley going well. Eagles slow to get up. Here's Lewis Taylor burrowing under. Taylor, good strength from him. Presence of mind for a bounce. The kick again though, letting the Lions down a little bit. Bonner, good shot as it bounces away from Skinner. Hand pass from Berry, back to Skinner. That's good stuff from the Lions. Front of McFadgen. Chance just to settle. So just about all the Giants in the past few minutes. Giants back towards forward 50. Cox was queuing up. They didn't need him. Tommy Berry.
Very courageous there, just sliding across the front of the pack there. Could have copped some heavy contact there. Really good to see from the young kid.
High ball. Needed the options. The Lions. And here is Ben Keys back for Taylor. Missed the hand pass. Numbers again, the Lions. They're queuing up Berry for Keys. And the hand pass back inside for Cox coming from McFadden. Now a chance for the Giants as Shipley takes the bounce, needs to get rid of it and does so. Talk's important. McRory not as clinical as he needed to be, but Haitley pushed in the back and that will be the call. He's got to get up quickly. They've got to move it because the Lions are flooding back. McRory using not just that delightful head of hair, but also a bit of muscle. And now O'Halloran sends it long. Good fly from the Giants and potentially at the back. Great stuff from the Giants. Tommy Sheridan with the goal, the former Docker, giving them their second goal since quarter time, and an important one too. A little bit of a reward for effort too.
Yeah, that's right. They've looked very good last few minutes and they've been really efficient. And like you said, reward for effort too. They've been rewarded handsomely with a couple of goals. It's not exactly what they need. They need a little bit more of it, but Giants, great play. And you'd think that they're capable of this as well. And they've shown this in the first quarter. They're just returning to first quarter form again with a really fast, quick-moving goal there, using the pace of their players and their young players as well. I should say the more contested footy would suit Brisbane and their more stronger senior bodies, while some fast outside movement play would lean in the favour of the Giants.
Yeah, we've seen what they can do. The Giants' NEAFL side. Tommy Sheridan, great to see him up and about. Former Fremantle Docker. As Archie Smith sends it forwards. Good stuff from Cumming. Robertson. Kick inside forward 50. Taylor. Great read from him. And around the body from Lewis Taylor. And around everything. It's out of bounds on the full.
He missed on that occasion, but Taylor just looks like he's got a little bit of X factor for the Lions. He looks like a very fast, quick, nippy player. That's the kind of thing you need in the forward line as well. So really exciting player.
Briggs potentially taken out by Walker. No call coming. And Matt McRory, 17 years of age, fast becoming one of the favourite athletes in Australian sport. A lot about him. There's Matheson outside for Bastanak, just about handed it to him. Bastanak, a high ball. And front position, almost from Sam Skinner. But the free kick given away. And it'll be Connor Iden. As the football slow to get up. What's he tossed away there? Was it the mouth guard?
Yeah, it looked like the mouth guard he threw away there.
He's going to have to go back for it. Puzzling piece of behaviour from Connor Iden.
It looked a little bit of frustration there almost, just throwing it away like that. And then immediately after kicking it, had to go fetch it.
Yeah. Might come from the ground, maybe receive a bit of attention. He looks to be grabbing at his nose, so a bit of high contact from Connor Iden. And will be replaced by Kane Flack, North Wagga Saints product, and a bright young talent. So Halloran and Squire left it for each other, and both a little bit too polite, left it in response for each other, and no one grabbed it.
Brisbane clamping down the contest again, trying to get back to that really congested style of footy that they favour themselves playing here against the smaller Giants' bodies, as you see him wrap up another tackle again.
No perfect example, Archie Smith. Plenty of him. Hasn't had a huge amount of AFL football. 2 of his career 11 games at AFL level have come this year, but tough side to crack into, the Lions AFL side. Holding the ball's the call. Ben Keys wants a little bit more. Can't do much these days, can you? You slap at me, I'll slap at you. You slap at me, I'll slap at you. And then we'll just retreat as Xavier O'Halloran starting to get under a few noses and trying to drag his Giants side back into this contest. A free kick will go the way of the Lions. And the umpire's just asking for a bit of calm. It'll be for Walker. Late stages of this third term. The Giants have given a little bit of a flutter. The Lions still well in control. It's 90 plays 56 the way the visitors. And they are on here, the Lions. Plenty of real estate to work with on the far side of Giants Stadium. McFadden, a right foot kick. Into forward 50. Elbassis did well. And we will have a ball in. Maybe a late charge for the Lions. Led by 45 at half-time. Currently 34 points the margin, so the Giants have worked it back a little bit. Couple more before three-quarter time, and start to dream of an unlikely comeback. They won't have time for anything, not even a surge back towards their forward 50, because that is the three-quarter time siren. And a good bit of play from the Giants in the third, certainly. Better than in the second when it was all Brisbane. At three-quarter time, the ladder leading Lions 13-12-90 with a 34-point advantage over the Giants, 8-8-56. Not too far away from all of the fourth quarter action. We'll be back in a short while. Almost time for the fourth term of this NEAFL encounter. Round 20 of the Premiership season, the second last round. Got the Giants hosting Brisbane Lions, and the Giants 8-8-56 trail the Lions 13-12-90. At quarter time it was the Lions by 6, and then they hammered the Giants in the second term to stretch out to a 45-point advantage. The moment though, Chris Corby, 34 points, plenty to like from the Giants, and from their perspective, if they can kick a couple very quickly, you might start to wonder what could be, maybe, the first loss of the Lions season.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's still there for GWS as well. They're able to wrestle back some momentum early here. They could be on, but at the moment, the Lions really showing their premiership credentials. They've been so impressive this year. By far the best team in the home and away season in the NEAFL competition this year. Just quickly run through the leading possession getters so far this game. For GWS, Cumming and O'Halloran with 20 disposals apiece, and Haitley with 14. And for the Lions, Taylor putting on a clinic, 25 disposals. Matheson, very impressive as well, 23. And Lions with 21. But lots to like here from this young GWS side. But the Lions well on top here as we enter the fourth quarter.
As we get set, Jackson Haitley has just walked down the race. The AFL side for the Giants have been warming up, so too the Western Bulldogs. So we'll keep an eye as to whether Jackson Haitley has any further involvement, but he is an AFL emergency, so potentially a few things going on with the Giants AFL side. Jackson Haitley has been one of their better performers at NEAFL level, and after three quarters he's just gone down the race with much of the rest of the Giants AFL side. The ball, though, here is with Tommy Sheridan. One goal for him, and an important one for them in the third term. Excuse me. Sheridan. Long, and almost broken up. Well, it was broken up by Leicester, almost marked by him. Addison's kick is smothered by Lions. And it's a strong tackle coming from Mitch Hinge. Just swinging Kieran Briggs into the turf under our noses here. Big year for Brisbane at AFL and NEAFL level. 1 point win over Geelong at AFL level, and that should have been a high free kick for high contact, not being. And James Peatling stands at long. The numbers, numerical advantage with the Lions, but Eagles has made a real mess of it. Here's Callum Brown running into an open goal and slotting it for the Giants. They strike first in the fourth term, and no man potentially more deserving of a major for them than Callum Brown.
Oh, Eagles are so upset with that. He's upset with himself there. Just unfortunately just paddled the ball on and just went to ground. And as soon as that happened, the Giants just swarmed there and able to get a goal. And that's exactly what they need to stay in this contest. The door's still open for them. They've still got a bit of a mountain to climb, but it's there for them. A quick goal in the first 2 minutes of play here in the fourth quarter. But it's on here. It really is. So the Lions, though, will look to clamp down now. They've got a bit of a lead to protect, so they are still in the advantage.
28 points. Certainly deficits of this nature have been breached before. What a story that would be if the Giants can bring it back and inflict the Lions' first loss of the season. They're going to have to be near perfect if they are to do so, though. Brisbane, the entire outfit is part of the Lions AFL list. The Giants with a host of academy players. They've also seemingly lost Jackson Haitley for this fourth quarter. One of the AFL emergencies has gone down into the rooms. This will help. A free kick, and in the hands of Nick Shipley, one of the better users of the ball. One of the more experienced players for this Giants outfit. Goes long, and that was important from Addison, preventing the mark. The Lions, though, numbers outside. Look at them line up. They won't be rushed into it.
There was just no movement there for GWS going forward there. All their targets were stationary and just kicked to a long contest there as the Lions attack on the far wing.
Yeah, Robertson over the top. Good mark from Walker. Not without pressure. Walker in this delightful winter sunshine in Sydney's west. A long ball. Plenty of Giants there. Hands and knees stuffed now. Scooped out for Connor Iden, and then Matt Buntine's kick ricochets off Nick Robertson and out of play. Plenty to like about some of these young academy players. It's been good to see Ed Perryman involved. He kicked a first quarter goal. 65 kilograms he weighs. From Colin Gully, and the brother of Giants listed player Harry. It's a delight to watch Harry come through the academy and NEAFL ranks ahead of his time on the AFL list. The Lions. This is a feature of what we saw in that second term. A little bit too easy. Players sneaking free. Connor McFadyen on this occasion. Speaking of academies working, part of the Lions Academy since the age of 11. Connor McFadyen then pick number 42 in the 2018 draft. He'd be loving life on the AFL list and loving this opportunity. Should make no mistake here. Just about directly in front. Kicks from 40 metres. The kick's a good one. Connor McFadyen with the Lions' first goal in the fourth term. 14 goals, 12, 96. They're back out to a 34-point margin.
Lions just able to control the tempo there. They got the game back on their terms last few minutes. Repeat stoppages using their bigger bodies against the younger Giants. And just able to build and build. And then as well, trademark of the Lions this year as well. They get a mark inside 50 or just outside 50. Instantly look for a fast kick inside to the player who's leading. And they know how to expect it there. That their players will be looking to square up. And McFadyen kicks a great goal there from right on 50. And the Lions looking very impressive. Brisbane 14-12-96 to GWS 9-8-62 as we get back underway here.
Well read from Sheridan. Really nice work. Inside 50 again, though. The Lions congesting that corridor. Callum Brown, great physicality. Great intent again. He's missed it off the deck. Not so. The follow-up and another goal for the Giants. Dylan Addison using all of his experience and guile and supporting the young star on the rise, Callum Brown, well. So an immediate response from the Giants, and we are back to a 28-point deficit.
Yeah, that was a fast movement there just to respond to that Brisbane goal. Get it forward, able to pressure with the defence there, and then GWS just lining up. Missed a kick off the ground, but that didn't stop the goal, and they were able to quickly reply there. There's still a chance for them, but they're still a little bit...
Well, let's ham it up. Let's talk it up.
They can do it.
It's been highly entertaining in patches, this contest. Certainly the first term was a ripper. 13 goals kicked between them. 6-1-37 the Giants, 7-1-43 the Lions. And with the exception of that second term, the Lions kicked 6 unanswered goals. The Giants have been right in this. It's just those small moments sometimes against a quality outfit like the Lions, who have dealt out some beatings in season 2019. 16 wins from 16 starts and a percentage heading into today of 239.1. So already the Giants defying the form book from many. And the Lions will be 5 games clear with a win today. And the Giants looking to have their say. Potentially a free kick. Giants player ridden into the turf. Hand pass slightly broken up. Couple of options here. O'Halloran just gets it on the boot. It was really good strength for the Lions from Walker. And just worked Ratton out of the play. And that potentially a free kick for the Lions, the way of Tom Fullerton. And play on is the call. Advantage paid. Sheridan working hard for the Giants on the far side of the ground. The Lions, plenty of run and carry. Here's Robertson, West Australian product. Plenty of time with the Lions. And we will have a ball in and a good opportunity for Isaac Cumming. Take a bit of water on.
The Giants haven't been too bad today. They definitely haven't disgraced themselves. The quarter that really killed them was the second quarter, where they just didn't present enough at the ball. Brisbane got the game on their own terms, and they just ground the Giants. Repeat stoppages, and were able to get those goals.
Matheson up against McRory, who is dumped into the turf. Heavy tackle coming from Tom Cutler. And they're still going on with it a little bit. I'd imagine that Cutler's just telling McRory how much he loves that beautiful head of hair. Here's a sight to behold. The Lions through Allison from 50. Long ball from him and just away to the right. One behind for Jacob Allison. And the Lions, 10-8-68, plays 14-13-97. 8.5 minutes played here in the fourth and final term. Defensive duties with Isaac Cumming, who does just that to this near side. And good mark from Kieran Briggs out in front of Connor Ballenden. Briggs has been good. Local product. I think you've touched on Pennant Hills Demons Junior. And plenty of him. 19 years of age, 200 centimetres and 103 kilos.
That's right. Briggs is a very promising product. 9 disposals and 21 hit-outs today too. So he's been rather prominent for GWS today.
He battled hard against Archie Smith. Ball going the Giants' way. Hayden Bonner receiving plenty of instruction from players on the boundary line. He'd potentially be entitled to ask them to do a bit more work and offer him something a little bit more appealing. Here's Dylan Addison. Just got rid of it to McRory, who's again met solidly. And the 17-year-old is wrapped up and taken to the turf. Liked the start of his fourth quarter, McRory, putting himself in good positions. Canberra Demons set up, and Giants Academy. Ball that goes as high as it does long. Addison involved. He's been important of late. Squire, the look-away hand pass. Everybody moved on. Here's Matheson for Bastanak. Look-away hand pass himself. And Connor Iden wraps it up. It'll be a bouncing ball, and it goes over the head of Darren Ratton. A late addition. The Giants unable to capitalise. Here is Cutler, streaming through the middle. It's a wonderful ball to McFadgen. Takes the mark. It was an empty goal square, but from here, you'd expect him to slot this through. Kicked a goal not so long ago from a similar angle, but an extra 25 metres out. So from directly in front, 20 metres out, Connor McFadgen should kick goal number 2.
That was a brilliant transition play to watch there. McFadgen found himself all alone on the wing and then made a lot of noise running inside 50 to take that mark. It was just brilliant how he was able to lose his man. The Giants were able to go quickly there as he slots it. The goal umpire loves it. That's his second goal as well. He's looked really good this last quarter as well as the Giants, Brisbane rather, stretched their lead again, and they've looked very impressive, and they've really showed their credentials as well today, and they will be hard to beat come this September.
He made hard work of it. Connor McFadgen just snuck it in for goal number 2 for him. And the Lions crack the century. 35-point margin for them. And just about burying the Giants.
Yeah, you'd say this run of goals by the Lions has just put away any chance of GWS able to come back here. They've been very impressive today, but plenty to take away for this young Giants outfit as we get going again in the centre.
Eli Smith overrunning it with help from Shipley. And here's Bastanak. So experienced and solid. And this will be a free kick going the way of Corey Lyons against Jack Buckley, who seems to be pretty frustrated with the way things have gone. He's tried hard. Couple of goals, but couldn't quite get that football. And Corey Lyons looking for his first goal of the afternoon. And tucks the mouthguard into the sock. Wipes a bit of spit and sweat off the hands. And the corridor awaits. Already flanking his runway. Lyons from 47 metres. It's away to the left from the moment it left his boot, and it'll be just the one behind.
Just need to be put off there by the man on the mark. Was able to rush up really quickly on him and jump on the spot and almost dropped that one a little bit too short there.
Huge roost out of defence from the Giants. Nicholas Murray's kick is worked out of play. Good signs from the Giants, who seem to be finals bound. They're in 5th or 6th on the ladder after yesterday's fixtures. Could have gone to 4th with a win today. So still certainly in the picture ahead of next week's final round. Archie Smith ahead of Delahunty. Here's Shipley. Little hand pass, and now they work it over the head of Delahunty. Here is Squire. It's Addison, in fact. And a good mark taken, potentially 50. Mark taken by Harry Grant, and Brandon Starcevic giving him a little bit of sauce on the side. And it all falls apart It all falls apart for the Lions. There were 4 of them, and they've given away a free kick to Callum Brown. He was well and truly out of it, and that ended up being the penalty. The Lions blocking him illegally. Brown hit the turf. That is comical stuff from Brisbane. 4 defenders against 1 young and relatively inexperienced Giant. And Eagles will have to stand the mark as Callum Brown, who's been hugely impressive today, lines up for goal number 2. Started off in defence and battled hard, gave great intensity as they tried to avoid a whitewash and an embarrassing lopsided defeat. And he's really wrestled things back for the Giants. That is a great kick from him as well. Goal number 2. Wonderful set shot from Callum Brown. And the Giants should go towards him and offer him all sorts of congratulations because he's been just about their best on ground in the second half, Callum Brown. His second goal of the afternoon and the Giants' 11th.
Absolutely right there. There's just no need. It was a gift from the Brisbane Lion defence there. No need to block him out there. You had 3 defenders vying for the mark, and Eagles just didn't need to make that mistake. And a bit of a weird run up there as well, I realised. He looked like he got very close to that man of the mark, then took a little sidestep right. And
well, the Gaelic skills coming into it, the Irish product, and some of those nuances of the Australian rules game, I'd say, still working through, but struck it well.
Yeah, if it works, and it's 6 points, so you take that any day of the week as a Giants fan.
Another one of these great project players and terrific stories of Australian rules football, potentially Callum Brown and the Giants. Really innovative club. Certainly not the first to tap into those Irish talents, but always keeping a good eye on the talent right around the place. Here they go again, the Giants. Another foray into forward 50. Delahunty can't take the mark. And out of defensive 50, the Lions go. Ben Keys spots up Ryan Lester. Now a bit of run from Jack Payne. Defensive general, it is off hands. Ballenden couldn't take the mark. And there are 3 Giants. They need to talk and work hard for each other. They sort of just all stayed in the same patch. And Eagles, very physical. Cedric Cox, back for Allison. The kick, back for Archie Smith. Did enough. Bounces off the head of Nick Murray. Here they go, Addison. Off the left. It's a pretty ordinary kick. Allows Eagles and Allison to work it to Payne. Mid-stages of this 4th and final term. Lions leading 104-74. The absorbing contest. 2 sides finals bound. The Lions will be minor premiers. There's no question about that. They'll be 5 games clear on top of the NEAFL ladder with a win today. And potentially one of the most pleasing things for Lions fans across the entire squad is that every player out there for the Lions today is on the AFL list. So really well placed as a club heading into both finals campaigns. Absolutely flying in season 2019. And we'll have a ball up deep in forward 50 for the Lions.
Lions have just got this game on their tempo now. It's just really going through the motions a little bit this game. They're able just to control every aspect of the contest. Giants have been still adamant in defeat as well, and they've got a couple of goals in this last quarter, but the game's definitely on Brisbane Lions terms right now.
Oh, Jack Payne smashed as he went to kick it. Good stuff coming from Matt Belbassis, Sydney University product. Well, not product as such, but with the Sydney University Football Club. Victorian. Still working his way through his Australian rules football journey, Matt Belbassis. Another ball up, Archie Smith's been good, and that battle with Kieran Briggs has been an enjoyable one. Neither player able to dominate, and both battling hard as Matheson sends it long. Interesting flight coming from Murray. Went a little bit early. The Giants battling hard, and none other, of course, than Jack Buckley. A manful display from him today.
Yeah, Buckley's been pretty impressive today. He's got 10 disposals and a lot of tackles as well. He's got 4 tackles as well. So he's looked really impressive today, the youngster.
A lot of work around the ball and off the ball too. Just tried to lead this side through. Was that off the knee? Be a ball in. Crowd starting to build on this broadcast side ahead of the Giants and Western Bulldogs AFL clash. Ballenden, front position. Plenty of lines going for it. A wonderful fend from Ben Keys. The left foot shot is errant and away, and will give possession to the Giants.
Certainly an exciting run there, just unable to capitalise on the left foot snap there. A little bit off balance as well from how quickly he rushed through the contest there.
Well, Eagles has come from a long way back, assessing the danger. If the Giants could take that mark, they were away. And there is barely a player on the attacking side of the centre circle for Greater Western Sydney and their NEAFL side. Really pleasant conditions, but breeze picking up and swirling around Giant Stadium as Matheson sends it into attacking 50. How about the combination with Connor Ballenden yet again? They lit it up in the opening term and potentially looking to do so late in the fourth as well. Ballenden, a great mark on the lead and low from that searing Reece Matheson ball. And Matheson with 3 goals to his name. Connor Ballenden, a chance for goal number 3 himself. Been quiet up forward since the opening term as he's worked his way through the ruck. And trots in surely for goal number 3. Connor Ballenden straight through the middle, and the Lions out to another very healthy lead. Ballenden kicks his third. He's had a big day. And the Lions 16-14, 110. Lead the Giants 11-8, 74.
Ballenden really impressive there for the big man, taking a almost falling chest mark there. Marking it probably about his own knee height, which might be taller than some of the players out there. He's a big boy. But really impressive work there. Just able to get great body position against the Giants defender there, and he just showed his talent there as he kicks his third goal today. And the Lions have been really impressive and haven't let up here late in the fourth quarter. We are 21 minutes gone in the fourth quarter. GWS 11-8, 74 to Brisbane Lions 16-14, 110.
And the Giants had hoped just to hold the Lions in the final few minutes and maybe sneak a couple of goals back themselves. 36-point margin. And probably about right the way the Lions have calmly gone about things. Here's Lewis Taylor, who's been really good. Been held through the fourth, though. A little bit quieter, and maybe the Lions just mixing things up and hoping to get a bit of different balance and structure about the way they're going about it. Can afford to try out all sorts of different scenarios and combinations. Potentially another NEAFL premiership for them, that famous win in 2017 at the SCG. Eagles was great that night. Ben Keys, the Andrew Ireland medal, best on ground. A handful of these Lions NEAFL players today looking to come of age on that night. Cedric Cox was good. Archie Smith central to a lot of that too. Jack Payne down in defence. And marching towards another NEAFL grand final appearance. But much of that will hinge on the way the AFL side's going and injuries and everything else, because the other sides in the NEAFL finals will be certainly putting that bullseye right above the Lions at the top of the ladder, looking to get a little bit closer than perhaps they have through the regular season. The Lions deep in attack yet again. Kieran Briggs up against Sam Skinner. Briggs, good strength, wins it down. Robertson, dogged as he pursues the ball. McCrory's hand pass half broken up. And Robertson, great work to smother the kick. Good persistence from Kane Flack. And the Giants somewhat out of danger. Peatling to the far side of the ground. Now around the outer side. Callum Brown couldn't get clean purchase of the ball. Bit of a spin move, and now back with Brown. So this is good from the Giants. Inside forward 50, and a really good mark taken by Lachlan Squire. Great strength out in front from him. All sorts of pressure. It's going to be a tough kick, certainly with the breeze gusting into his face across Giant Stadium. But a lot to like about Lachlan Squire. NEAFL debut last year. Received a Rising Star nomination in this competition a few weeks ago. 18 years of age, a chance to bring the margin back to 28 points. As we approach 24 minutes played in the fourth and final term. Here's Lachlan Squire. A right foot kick. It's not going to trouble the scorers, and with help from Eagles, it's worked away and out of play.
Eagles has done some really good things down back there for the Lions today. Really commanding full-back position today. In previous weeks, we've seen Eagles push up into ruck as well, just as a bit of a change-up, but today exclusively at full-back, and he's done a good job just locking down the defence for them.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Always determined to affect the contest, whether he has clean disposal or a clean marking opportunity. Strong intensity from him. Speaking of intensity, Mr. Intensity, Nick Robertson watches it disappear over the other side of the boundary line. Well, it didn't disappear at all, did it? We can still see it. Strong young footballer, Nick Robertson. Junior up Kinross Junior Football Club over in Perth. They managed the 2 AFL games this year, but we'll be trying to keep reminding the senior selectors what he is capable of. Here's Lewis Taylor. Hand pass outside. And Ryan Lester around the corner. The Giants still fighting hard. Hand pass outside for Sheridan. In turn for Shipley. Hard up against the boundary line. Squares it into the corridor. Mark unable to be taken, and the Lions looking to mop up. But Fullerton by hand, and Allison equally so. Now some strong run. Down the boundary line coming from Cutler. His return from a foot injury has been good, and the kick was superb. Eli Smith held up by McRory. A lot to like about him. 17 years of age, has been up there with the Giants' best. Lewis Taylor leaping high to take the mark. So a bit of the sting gone out of this one. And on the counter, the Lions, impressive as always. Just those small moments, the Giants go from almost having that mark inside forward 50 to the Lions on the counter, working their way down this wing and finding a relatively unmarked man inside attacking 50.
Yeah, he was just standing inside 50 there, waving at the player. It was good for a good 5 seconds there, and they finally went to him, and that's how clear he was. The Giants defender saw, and he was a good 20 metres away from him by the time the ball was in motion, and Taylor's been very good today. He's come up for his 33rd disposal.
Oh, great stuff from him. Looking for goal number 1, and a cherry on top for Lewis Taylor. Bit of an exclamation point for Brisbane today. 17 goals, 14, 116. Leading the Giants 11-8-74. Taylor's been superb. The Lions have been impressive. And they will march on for win 17 from 17 starts and go 5 games clear on top of the NEAFL ladder. Superb stuff from Lewis Taylor. And for Giants fans, just beneath us here, Jack Buckley limping off. And slight look of anguish and disappointment on his face. Probably sums up the day. They've tried hard, but haven't been able to get it done.
Yeah, Lions have really been accumulating disposals here today. 3 players have got more disposals than the leading Giants disposal getter in Cummings with 23, but for the Lions, Taylor with 33, Matheson 29, and Lions 27. They've dominated the inside ball today.
Sheridan, again, beautifully read. Bounces off Brown's shoulder. Addison sharks it from 35 and doesn't have the legs. And Eagles, again, gets to the ball, but again can't take the mark.
That was almost one of the most creative assists I've ever seen there. Just kind of ricocheted off his arm and fell into his lap.
A set play, you reckon?
Yep, practice that one. Smooth as you like.
Eagles unable to take the mark. The Lions not suffering too much as a result. And Connor McFadden has been pretty good. Provided a great presence inside and around forward 50. Kick was a good one. Attempted mark, really ordinary. We got an injury potentially for Tom Fullerton, or maybe just disappointment. And he juggled just about the easiest of grabs. 1 goal for McFadden, 1 goal for Fullerton.
Speaking of injuries, Buckley's just in the hands of the physio down on the bench. You mentioned before he limped off the ground. Can't quite see what they're working on there, but they're just testing him out there on the boundary.
Umpires needing get involved once more. In the heart of the Lions forward 50. Ballenden uses the body well against Briggs. Lewis Taylor looking for goal number 2, and Lewis Taylor, accomplished stuff from him. He's got his second in a matter of minutes, and it's a cherry on top of his day with his first. Bit of chocolate sprinkles to go with it. Outstanding stuff from the little man, and he's really led the Lions today. Good heart from him, good fight. Hasn't been perfect with his disposal, but keeps on backing up and always ever present.
For me, he'd be close to best on ground, Taylor, today. He's looked really good. He's come alive in the last 5 or 6 minutes. 2 goals. He's had about 7, 8 disposals in the last 5 minutes or so. He's, after just having a little quiet patch there in the middle, he's just come alive. I think he's been really the driving factor of the Lions outside midfield, where they've been winning the ball on the inside, giving it to him on the run. He's a bit of a smaller midfielder, but he's got great pace and he's been able to use it all right. He's made a couple of mistakes, but he hasn't looked too bad.
Very smart with the way he's worked his way around the ground and got involved. Arms outstretched and win a free kick, the Giants. You'd imagine they won't even bother with the kick on goal from within inside the centre square. That is the full-time siren. The free kick still stands. The Giants will need to dispose of the ball. Halloran has the footy and he will go for the torpedo. Decent spiral, but Eagles able to come back and maybe indicative of his day, misses as well. That is full time in this round 20 NEAFL clash. The Lions 18 goals 14, 122. Get the job done against the Giants 11-9-75. The Lions remain undefeated in season 2019. 5 games clear on top of the NEAFL Premiership ladder. And as we head towards round 21 and the final round of the regular season, never have their premiership credentials looked as good as perhaps they do today, Chris Corby.
Yeah, absolutely. They're a level above the rest of the competition at the moment, and they looked at today, 23 listed, and they definitely showed it today. Really impressive stuff. Lions, best player on ground for me, Taylor. Taylor had a sensational day in my opinion. 34 disposals, 2 goals. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Matheson, 30 disposals. Lions finished at 27. And for GWS, bit of a harrowing day. Their youngsters showed their class, but just unable to stay with the Brisbane side. With Halloran, 25 disposals, Cumming, 23, and Sheridan and Shipley both finishing on 16. A quick run through the goal kickers. For the Giants, Brown, 2 goals, Delahunty, 2 goals, Addison, 1 goal, Barzen, 1 goal, Buckley, 1 goal, Grant, 1 goal, Perryman, 1 goal, Sheridan, 1 goal, and Shipley, 1 goal. And for the Brisbane Lions as well, 3 goals to Ballenden and Matheson, Bastanak with 2, Cutler with 2, McFadgen with 2, Taylor with 2, and single goals to Cox, Fullerton, Skinner and Smith. So a very impressive day all round for the Brisbane Lions here as they march towards September.
Absolutely right. 47-point winners, the Brisbane Lions, but for now from Giants Stadium, it is goodbye.